Absolutely honoured to be joined by you today. I understand that you've got almost 50 years experience in the profession, written over 30 books and spoken and trained to people in over 100 countries. So welcome, Tom Big Al Schreiter.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Tom. I've seen you speak, I actually don't know how many times now, countless times. But I think only once I've heard you speak about your history and when you first got going. And I often feel, particularly when I first got started, that some of the most inspiring speakers were the ones that got up on stage as successful distributors and told us of how they struggled when they first got going and how that made me feel that perhaps I could do it. So could you perhaps just give us a brief history of how you got started and whether you got off to a good start or not?
I think the brief history could be summed up with the word badly, just like everybody else. I studied engineering. So I took my engineering skills into network marketing. So people know engineers are basically boring people, personality free, charisma bypass, socially challenged, should not be let out in public. So you can see the train wreck happening. So engineers are all about the data and the presentation. And like you say in the book, that's not going to matter if you can't even get the appointment. So yeah, it was pretty ugly. So what I learned is most people take their skills of their current profession and just bring it into the new profession. So it's like saying, all right, so I've been driving this taxi. Tomorrow, I love to be a dentist. I have a vision board. Let me just go for it. Give me a drill. And people just don't line up. So there's commercial talk and social talk. And I was trained how to do social talk, which is how we're all trained, to talk to people in the community. But in network marketing as a business, we have to use commercial talk, which is talk like you hear on the radio or television, get to the point right away before people get bored. They have busy lives. They don't have time for us. And we have to get our message inside their head quickly. And for most people, that never occurred to us. So here's how I started. I talked to a lot of people. Nothing happened for about 1 year and 10 months till I had to learn some skills on how to talk to people. So I know everybody here in this podcast has probably read your book and realized that, yeah, it's hard to get people to set an appointment. What do we say? How do we get through? None of this ever occurred to me. So I was a disaster, just like most of us when we start.
I think you touched on something there, Tom, which was for a lot of new people, one of the biggest challenges at the beginning is not knowing what to say to people or knowing how to speak to people in a way that doesn't make them feel uncomfortable or come across as sounding salesy or weird. So in your opinion, how important is it to overcome that and what are some of the best ways that people can do that?
Well, I think we should start with understanding how people perceive us. As soon as we start talking and it sounds slightly commercial, people throw up a salesman alarm right in the forehead. And then the too good to be true filter. Then they're thinking, oh, what's the catch? How much it's going to cost me? Will I have to change? I better be skeptical, look for reasons why not. Be negative, don't agree to anything or else I'll use it against me. And so we have this great message. And the message comes right up to people's forehead, bounces off the forehead, tinkle, tinkle, tinkles to the floor, and never once enters their mind. So if our message is awesome and it never enters their head, our chances are just about zero. And my particular feeling is you don't really have to sell people. They're already sold. Mm-hmm. For instance, there in the UK, you have the company that sells electricity. People already bought electricity. You have to go in there and say, if you had it, you could watch Sky TV. People are already sold. And you ask people, do you want more money or less money? They're going to say, well, yeah, more money. Or live longer or die quickly. Well, after careful consideration, yeah, live longer. So they're all sold. But if our message never gets inside their head, it's over. So my philosophy is if you can get past all those barriers and deliver the message inside the head, people aren't dumb. They have common sense. They could say, this option here sounds a whole lot better than my current life. Yeah, why not? But for most of us, it never gets inside their head because, like you said, we sound weird. I pick up the phone and call my mom and say, hey, Mom, I just finished, and all of a sudden I sound formal. She thinks like an alien took over my body. We all know how it sounds because that's how we all talk to people. So, yeah, getting past those barriers so we can actually deliver the message, that's really our biggest sale.
Yeah, I mean, with the work that we do, Tom, sometimes we make the analogy of network marketing and it's quite similar to what you've just said, that we sort of say that it's almost as though people are carrying a helium balloon, a red one or a green one, and they're already interested or they're not interested. Our job is simply just to find out which colour balloon they're carrying, not to sell them a green one if they're carrying a red one or vice versa, but simply it's just a sorting process of find people who are interested because there are many out there.
Yeah, the latest brain science really puts it nicely. It says the human brain craves simple. It likes things laid out right away, and we have a million things on our mind, and we have Facebook messages and WhatsApp and friends and hobbies and work and kids and meals and vacations. So we're overwhelmed in our brain. So our brain is saying, I just got to make snap decisions quick because I got 1,000 decisions waiting. So like you say in the balloons, they already know which way they want to be. Mm-hmm. So people are so rushed that the human mind does something really cool. It's not really good, but it's really cool. The human mind says we're going to make snap decisions on everything before the details. Don't give me any details unless I've decided yes. So if the answer is no, we're over. If the answer is yes, then I will allow details. So if we can be pretty straightforward with people and give them an idea what we're going to offer, they're going to say, okay, yes or no. If it's yes, all right, we can talk. If it's no, we're done. And that's what they desperately crave, is just us to be straightforward right away up in the call.
Yeah, too often we can go around the houses just overwhelming people with information that, as you've already said, we're bombarded with information on a second-by-second basis, aren't we?
Yeah, the internet, billboards, radio ads, newspaper, yeah. We have far too much information and far too little time, so they're guarding their time. We understand this.
Yeah. I think far too often people can just think, well, if I just give them more and more information, then that they'll turn to my way of thinking when, as you just said, it's like, no, I'm busy already.
Yeah, I tell people the final decision happens before all the information comes. And I say in a workshop, I say, how many people here made the final decision to enter a relationship or get married before you had all the information? Yeah, that's us.
Perfect.
So, Tom, in our business, in mine and Paul's businesses as well, we have people who do really well using social media, and they're building a great business using social media. We have others who are quite disastrously using social media sometimes. A couple of questions, really. How do you think social media has changed network marketing? For the good, for the better, or is it a bit of a mix? And how, if there's any way, could people use social media better? What do you feel their approach actually should be if they're going to use social media just to prospect people?
Well, let me see. Let's say there was a product. Hold up the product and say, well, on social media, I'll take the picture of the product from 4 different angles. Yeah. Boy, when they see those pictures and how that label looks, that's going to be awesome. And then they'll all just order and I'll be rich. That's how people look at it originally. Social media, just a way to meet people. I'm the same person if you met me in the grocery store, if I'm a relative of a family reunion, or if you met me on Facebook, I'm still the same person. So there's nothing magical about social media. It's just a way to meet people. I have a friend named David Brewer. He always said, it's 11 o'clock at night on social media, there's somebody. But if you don't have social media, chances are you're meeting people in bars and they won't remember you tomorrow. So if you're a night owl, why not meet people by social media? Yeah, sure. So there's nothing magic about social media. If you have poor communication skills at the grocery store, there'll be poor communication skills on social media.
Fantastic.
So there's nothing special, just a way to meet people.
So do you feel that the issue may be that people see it as a shortcut? They go, fantastic, I've got 1,200 friends, I'm going to have 1,200 customers by the end of today.
Yeah, so maybe you have 1,200 friends, and so what if 1,200 friends all spammed you with their business? Yeah, we could see it multiplying really bad here. Social media, here's an example I give people. It's better if they ask you and you do it offline or in private message, not in somebody's Facebook page. So somebody says, all right, I have this super product or super offer, and I'll put it all here in a big post, and they hear nothing. So I says, all right, so you're trying to recruit people. What are you going to do? You only want to recruit people that want to do something, right? Maybe if they're happy where they live or where they work, leave them alone. So you could post something as simple as, I hate my job. Who else has a dream-sucking boss? And then they go like. And then you could probably private message the people that said like and say, hey, I saw you like my post. Would you like to do something about it?
Yeah.
And if they say yes, hey, we can talk. And if they say no, we don't talk, and it's fine. But to spam them over and over again on social media, probably bad taste.
Fantastic. So another question from me. Your approach it seems to me all about getting to the point quickly. As you've already said, people are busy. We don't want to waste their time. But with saying that, trust and rapport is still key with people, isn't it? So if we have got limited time, if we bump into somebody in the grocery store, or we strike up a conversation in a bar or whatever, are there any particular techniques or strategies that we can use to build rapport and trust quickly?
Oh, a whole bunch. Whole bunch. Here's a short 3-minute thing. How's that? Let's see how many we can do.
Okay.
If you want people to believe what you say, you can always say there is an old saying, and then whatever you say next has to be true. Yeah, there's an old saying: if you're not the lead sled dog, then the view is always the same. Dog Or there's an old saying: a job will guarantee that you'll be broke. Or there's an old saying: if you commute back and forth to work, the next event in your life is death. And so they say, oh, that's true. That's true. Oh, yeah. And now we kind of have a common conversation. Mm-hmm. Another technique is to simply tell them a fact they already believe. So if you tell people a fact they already believe, they say, you're a fellow genius. You think just like I do. Yeah. So you might say, we all find that jobs interfere with our week. Oh, you're right about that. Let's talk. I can listen to you. So a simple fact that they believe is good. If you tell them 2 facts in a row, you almost put them in a deep hypnotic trance. So you could say, like if you sell electricity, we all get an electric bill and we all wish it was lower. Total report, just like that. Yeah. Or if you sold some health products, growing old really hurts, and we'd like to stay younger longer. 2 facts. Oh, yeah, you and I are the same. So just 2 facts. To build rapport, smile. Babies 6 weeks old in a crib, they look up, they can't even roll over, they can't talk. But if an adult smiles at them, they already have the ability to smile back. And this is terrible, but the human mind is so dysfunctional. It says if somebody smiles, they can be trusted. What is it thinking? I mean, politicians smile, con men smile, but it's true. The human mind says if it smiles, it can be trusted. We could command them with word commands. We could say things like, well, you know how. And just by saying that, the back of the mind says, well, if I know how, then it must be true because what I know is true. No further proof needed. And we're in rapport. So those are easy ways to get into rapport. And once we're in rapport, then we have a better chance for a message going inside their head. But as far as asking for techniques, let's give one that everybody here can use. If you're going to talk to people, why not pick the best people? They're all pre-sold, but how about somebody who's pre-sold who wants to fix it right away? So here's a little formula that one can use. You can say, I am looking for people who have this problem, comma, who want to fix it. Now, as the three of us know, the purpose of business is to solve people's problems. So you only want to talk to people with problems. So you're looking for people with this problem who want to fix it. And that means, they're ready to go. I don't even have to be a salesperson. So I'm looking for people who have to commute on the M25 all day, who'd rather work out of their home.
Yeah.
You know anybody like that? Oh, yeah. Or in the grocery store, I'm looking for people that have electric bills who would like to have them be lower. Do you know anybody like that? Oh, what about me? What about me? Or I'm looking for people that have two jobs that would rather just have one job. Do you know anybody like that? Or I am looking, it's a very simple formula. But what's nice is we can approach people, but not actually approach them. We're asking if they know anybody. Out of the 200 people you know that I don't know, which are the three that are just ready to go? And a lot of times they volunteer. So if you're calling somebody and you're just really nervous about them, just say, hey, I'm calling to ask you a favor. I'm looking for people who have this problem, who want to fix it. Do you know anybody like that? And they don't feel like we're pressuring them, but they have the opportunity to volunteer. Yeah, I could do it. So I am looking for people who have a lot of bills who would like to have High Street pay part of them. Do you know anybody like that?
Yeah.
Simple as that. So that's a little formula we could use so you don't have to approach people directly and get rejection. The worst that can happen, they say, I don't know anybody like that. But the best that could happen is they say, what about me? Or give you a whole bunch of leads. So that's a shortcut on rapport.
Yeah, it's so simple when you think about it. Would you agree that far too often there's far too many people thinking far too much about what to say and how to say it rather than actually getting out there and doing it, and they overcomplicate things? Because at the end of the day, I mean, Danny and I were just talking about this earlier today, but when I think back to when I was invited to take a look at my business, it was nothing to me as the recipient of the person that that received the invite. It didn't mean anything to me. Yet I think people are guilty of building it up in their heads as this huge event when really we're just sorting people, aren't we?
Yeah, people pretty much know where they are in life. So we just meet them there. So if we look for people with a problem, we give them a chance to solve it. They can decide if today's a good day to solve it or not. It's up to them. And there's plenty of people with problems. Oh my. So I don't have to worry.
Yeah, Tom, so a lot of this is sort of off the cuff type of making conversations with people. But in most network marketing companies, they'll say, make a list of 200 people. I don't think we're going to get away from companies saying that. How would you, for a new person, how would you say, what would be the best way of actually approaching people on that list without scaring the first three off and you're losing your distributor straight away, if you're lucky after three?
All right, so let's review. We're taking a brand new person with zero skills, doesn't know what to say, low self-confidence, scared of their shadow, can't remember the name of the company. We say, make a list of 200 people that are guaranteed to reject you. Yeah. We're going to send you out as human target practice. Yeah, I like that. I like to say this to people. Who's your best friend? Let's call them first. And they say, oh, what am I going to say to my best friend? I said, well, I would start with hi. Okay, I'll write that down. And then tell your best friend what just happened and what you want. Tell them just straight out. So I might say, hi, best friend. Here talking to my friend Paul. You showed me business. I'm going to do it. I'd like to do it with you so we can, cruise together and have fun. What do you think? Well, I need to know more details. Great. We'll come over and talk to you.
So you're saying just tell the truth to people with no smoke and mirrors?
Well, yeah, the truth is underrated. But if it's your best friend, you think the same. And the reason we're best friend is, we both think of the same about a lot of stuff. So it's a no-brainer that they're going to think the same. Now, when you get past to other people, like strangers, you can't do that. But I say for the new person, start with your best friend. I mean, you don't want them to find out like 5 years later.
Yeah.
They won't be your best friend anymore.
Yeah, well, we often say to new people, if you're using a script and it feels awkward or a little bit weird to you, then it's probably not the right script for you to be using.
Yeah, your best friend can detect if aliens have taken over your body. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Just be congruent with who you are and the relationship you have with people, and there's not much you can get wrong. At the end of the day, it's all about timing, and as you say, we're looking for people with problems, and they choose whether they want to solve their problems that day or not.
Yeah, and as we go on, we get a little bit better about this problems and skills, and we can talk to strangers, but maybe not the first day. First day, I'd be safe and talk to the best friend who thinks exactly like you do, who wants the same things that you do, who would love to work with you or love to be your customer because you're your best friend. Start there. Start with the easy ones. Don't start with the hardest ones.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Anything else to add?
No, I think that's me.
Okay. Well, we just want to say thanks for your time today. It's much appreciated. We know that you're in the UK in March, but are you on your travels at the moment? You got anything else lined up in the near future?
Yeah, I'm always traveling. So, story of my life, I like to travel. Other people like staying at home. It's just a choice. So just like when we talk to people, some want to do things, some don't. It's okay. But I'll take the travel.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to put a link below for people to get in contact with you. But are there any particular ways that you'd like people to connect with you?
No, I just say go to bigalbooks.com and download some free stuff because it's well within most people's budget.
Well, fantastic. Thanks very much again for your time, Tom. And we'll see you in March.
All right. Bye-bye.
Travels. Bye-bye.
Bye.